Fireworks and Lighting Commission meeting to order. And the first order of business, we entertain additions, corrections, or approval of the regular commission meeting of July 9.
I so moved. There's no corrections that I saw.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Also, we had a special committee meeting on the 9th. We're entertaining additions, corrections, or motion to approve as presented.
I'll so move.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we have no action items. And the first report then would be the safety.
So I was kind of surprised, maybe not surprised that they don't have a staff position for safety, but that there's nobody that's assigned that functionality within the city?
I don't know. I believe they go through Civic, I think. I'm not sure offhand. But that's just a free service through insurance. But I'm not sure overall what type of representation they have.
You say that there were several questionable activities work being performed that wasn't safe.
I think we would restrict that discussion. Sean has already initiated some follow-up, and I think we'll keep it at that level at this point.
Okay? You're good with that?
Absolutely. John and I had a conversation, so.
I'm going to want to get back in your training sessions when you get in, but I'm only going to have one wing, so send me the invites and I'll tell you what I can do and what I can't.
You're not going to be able to do any pole top rescue with the electric guys then.
I'm sure not. I'm sure they also wouldn't want me to do
We'll
that.
figure out something for it. Yeah, that'll start again in September-ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, by all means, once we get to that point.
Okay.
So, okay, line superintendent's report. Josh? Any questions for Josh?
Just a lot of customer problems that month.
Yeah, very well.
I know that it's outside of the scope of this report, but can you tell me what the outage was last week? I was walking towards my dining room in the morning at that time, and there was a huge flash that I saw outside. That would have been to the east, northeast.
Yeah, so as near as we can tell, there was a squirrel outage on 8th Street, kind of behind Robert's Physical Therapy. That started kind of a chain reaction going, and the phase came down right here. Connection failed here, and the wires came down.
Did the squirrel get past our defense measures, or were there no defense measures?
There were defense measures. It was on the high side, so above the fuse.
Okay, thank you.
There are no more questions for Josh. Can we move to the electrical engineer's report?
I was reading that one too, and the Baker substation, I'm sure that's battery charger or alarms. How long do you think that's going to take?
For what? For separating the alarms out?
Yes.
Right now, most of my time is being dedicated to this orthophosphate system, but as soon as we're done with that, I will be focusing on getting that done.
Okay.
Shouldn't be too long. Just a matter of going out and getting it done.
So yet this month, or?
Try. The orthophosphate is probably going in this month, so
Okay.
that's why I'm kind of scrambling on it, but
All right.
we'll work on it.
Tyler, you want to talk a little bit about these Baker sub alarms and where you are now?
As in, like what were we talking about?
No, as that the same subject?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rain heavily, is it rain related? Do we have exposure that we shouldn't have?
That's kind of what it seemed, because the first time it happened, it was raining pretty hard as well. But without being there before the alarm cleared, I can't really tell what the alarm was. We assume it's the same alarm.
But they're usually hard to track and identify where that's happening.
We don't have buildings that are allowing rain.
It was, we assumed it was something that was out by the transformer, some of the control wiring by the transformer
Okay.
that isn't in service yet.
If we could then move on to the water department operation.
Welcome, Josh.
Thank you.
The quality and volume from the rehab well.
Everything's running good out there right now. The large pump is. Small pump they had some problems with, they had to take it back, redo it. That's coming back when they clean number 4 this fall.
We haven't seen any water quality issues and the volume is.
Volume's great, water's great. It's a good well, good collector.
Okay. Any additional questions for Josh? If not, we move to the information systems administrator.
On the exchange migration, what are the key difficulties that you're running into, or is it just a testing thing that you're doing?
We haven't really run into any issues so far, just scheduling issues. So we've only been able to meet with the vendor for like an hour every week so far. But now we're on the last stages, we're actually gonna start migrating everything. And we just got done with that this morning with the final steps to get that going.
Okay.
Still on track for the 22nd.
And the technical issues on the SCADA network, is it that it won't install, or if you install it, it won't work?
It won't connect, yeah, it won't work. Program says it installs fine, but it throws an error as soon as you try to connect. So, Rockwell doesn't even know what the problem is. They've been working on, they've had a ticket open since, for 3 weeks now, and I haven't heard anything back from them.
Port transfer, maybe?
We tried opening the whole thing up, and it still didn't connect. So we're not sure what the issue is.
Okay.
On the GIS software licensing, is that something that other area neighboring municipalities would also use? Is there any potential of working together to get enough?
I'm not sure, that would be something, that would actually be more of a question for city GIS.
Yeah.
They're the ones that handle the licensing, and they're more in that forum, I guess.
What is that, just for reference, what's the differential, you know, if you were to go to the next level? Are you talking about $10 difference, $1,000 difference?
It would, I mean, there'd be some, probably a 10-15% savings, depending on what the license is, but the jump to get there, I mean, we're only at, even with, combined with the city, we're less than 300 users, and the lowest we found was a $500 cap, or a 500 user cap.
User, okay. Thank you.
Thanks for trying.
There is another opportunity coming up for cloud backup for Microsoft 365 that we might be able to combine. So.
Okay, if there are no more questions for information systems, we move on to the key accounts manager.
Sean,
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever reached out to 45 Mercantile, Sean?
Which is
It's in the shop code, the old shop code line.
Okay, that changed name.
Yeah.
Names, yes, I have, yes.
I know somebody that works there, and I was mentioning about the disconnects, and I don't know that they understand the auto pay, and I don't know what's involved with a commercial account going on auto pay.
I
But
know.
they said they keep getting this notice that they're gonna be disconnected.
I know I spoke with them, I believe, a month ago, approximately a month ago. And what we did was, we discussed auto pay. However, they have several meters there, 3, 4.
Okay.
And so I went over it with the owner, or who's managing it,
Yeah.
the owner's son. And we discussed that, what rates would be best for him. As far as auto pay though, I thought that was all clarified to him.
Okay.
Tell them to call me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you talk to him in the last, week or two?
I talked to the worker there last night at home, so.
Okay. So it was my understanding everything was clarified
Okay.
during that phone conversation.
But I'll pass that on.
Yes, please, have them call me, I'll help them.
Thank you.
Good teamwork on the Fate Publishing thing,
Yes.
where obviously your two groups are working together and you're able to help the customer.
Yes, we were, thank you.
Yeah, very nice. And same thing with Golden Sand Speedway with, I don't know how close the 4 coolers were, but,
Very close.
okay.
It
So going down
was
to
like
now.
the first thing that we saw, and it was good to go out there because over the years, I know I spoke with the owner several times and helped him out, 2 different owners, but I never was out there. So it was good to kind of get familiar with the site.
How's progress on land acquisition?
So Monday, the Wisconsin Rapids Public School Board decided that they would allow us that half acre. They would just transfer ownership over to Waterworks and Lighting Commission. So that worked out great.
Okay, good.
And so at this point, surveying is in the process and the transfer of deed.
Great.
Super.
Good news.
And if we're finished there, can we move on to customer support supervisor? I like the numbers at 60 and 90, very nice. And we have 7 properties that are inhabited and they have no electric power.
Yes. And we reconnected them all during the heat advisory. And then disconnected them again the next day.
Did they draw any power? Same thing?
A little, and we accommodate for that. We put in a new reading and they do have to pay for that power that they use.
What do you do with these unsuccessful? Are you re-upping them to, or are they just so repeatedly unsuccessful that you've given up?
Unsuccessful.
Well, you say your
Oh.
payment arrangements.
If a customer enters into a payment arrangement and they do not fulfill it, when they come up for disconnect again, or if they come up for disconnect again, they have to pay their full past due balance because they have a broken payment arrangement. So it's kind of a one and done.
Okay.
Thanks for the water rate information, that was interesting.
So there are only 566 residents that actually have separate irrigation from their regular.
We used to have quite a bit more, but many have removed their sprinkler meter.
Part of that is the cost.
We have had quite a few wet summers, which I don't think people have needed it as much as they have this year.
There's quite a few private wells So that people have to do their spring cleaning in the city too. And that's the program that one of our people take care of, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for Lynn? If not, can we move to the chief financial officer?
Yeah.
We're gonna throw to Owen, we kind of missed that, I think, on the
What do
agenda.
Director
Oh,
of Engineering.
4.8.
Yes, Director of Engineering.
Again,
Last month I eliminated Todd. This month I eliminated you. Sorry about that.
thanks again for the
Yes.
the information on all of the outages.
That's helpful.
Did that affect Ocean Spray, or are they enough separate now that we don't have to worry about that?
That's totally different, separate feed. And normally they'll contact Sean if they see any kind of interruption. So Sean, you didn't hear anything, did you?
No, they've been good over there.
It was just long enough for my generator to kick in.
Yeah.
Any questions for Owen? And now, the Chief Financial Officer. So Resco, this is the outfit that it operates sort of like a co-op?
They're a co-op, we buy a lot of our materials from them, and then they provide this inventory software. The main thing we use it for is to charge out materials, and over the last couple of years, they've developed an app so you can have it on your smartphone, you can use the camera to do the charge outs that way. So we piloted it, it worked well, it worked a little better than the current system that we had, so we switched over, and it was of no cost since we're a Resco customer.
So that's a good news. Any questions on the financials for Jeff? Did you see the cash flow where it is? The current accrued liabilities were significantly higher than last year. Any particular reason for that? Like $250,000 roughly?
That number is kind of tied to some of our GASB adjustments we do that just sit on the balance sheet. I think that one particularly had to do with the last one, which was the software, it was the lease stuff that we had to just put in, that kind of just made that number a little bit higher, but it kind of sits there for the year, and then it's pretty much just a liability adjustment to get those numbers correct, or in the right spot, so those just sit there.
So leased items are.
It's kind of our leases. I can get you some more information. I'll send you some information on what makes up that number, so you can see that.
Investments are looking good? Any other questions for Jeff? Now, can we move to the general manager's report?
So a couple things for me is Blue Annual Meeting. If you're interested in attending, please let me know by the 20th. So John has told me that he will be attending, but I haven't heard back from anyone else. And then I handed out a supplement for you. This pertains to the ATC shareholder meeting. So John, I gave you the entire presentation, but everyone else, I just gave you the 3 highlighted pages. Probably the main thing to understand with our relationship with our ownership in ATC is we get distributions and we have to pay in contributions. And up until last year, our contributions have always been more, and we normally see the 10% rate of return on that. In the next 5 years, our contributions are much higher. And so Jeff put together on page 2 what our contribution or our net funds are going to be. So it shows you this year was 156,000, but next year it jumps to 728. And then we go 2 years at 576 and 580, and then a lower year at 278, and then we're back to in the positive again after that. That took up a huge discussion time in the meeting. We had pretty much all the GLUE members there and a lot of the WIPI members, and everybody that was at the meeting agreed that it's been a good investment over these years. And ATC wanted everybody to realize, starting in 2030, we should start seeing even better profits from this investment, because those dividends are based on their assets, and by installing all these assets over these next 5 years, you're going to have a larger percentage of payouts based on those assets. So at some point, the commission should probably discuss this and, make a decision. Do we stay with them? I can tell you, my opinion would be to stay with them, and that every other company that is a shareholder so far of ATC has decided to stay with them as well.
So if I read this correctly, the return in 2030 is 321,000? Is that, how does that relate, or 321 million?
So in 2030, the company as a whole, ATC, their net will be $51 million paid out. And Jeff didn't take it out to the 2030 year, but I'm sure he could do that for us. But you're basically, you're gonna see a profit. It'll probably, I can probably kind of do a little bit of the math. You'll probably see a profit of about 225,000 in year 2030. That'll be a net for water line. But they predict every year after that it's going to just keep getting better and better.
There's a line item in the budget right now for contributions and dividends, correct?
We talk about it when we go through the budget process, because when we're looking at essentially what the utility can afford without dipping into reserves or anything, we kind of look at those numbers and figure that out. So this will probably be a discussion that comes up during the budget time, particularly because it's not a benefit for the next couple of years to the cash flow portion.
But we've had this discussion.
Yep, we had it last
We've kind
year.
of making you aware that it's coming.
Yeah, so
It's here
this is
now,
not
so.
a.
Surprise.
Right.
And you get specific information on the various projects where these investments are occurring?
Right, and that is in that packet where you got the whole packet to look through. Yep. And when they look at their forecasted projects after 2030, they're much less, and so that's why they know we're going to end up seeing, larger dividends going forward.
I guess the question I would have is, certain parts of the country are seeing dramatic increases in cost to the retail customers. Is this improvement in their facilities going to help us in terms of the availability of power from different sources?
Yeah, so these two 745 kV lines that we talked about a little bit in my report, they're the two first high voltage lines of that size in the state. And that's going to allow you to wheel power pretty much across the entire east to west boundary. And so that will be a benefit. The only thing that they brought up in that is this, right of first refusal bill that never took place. Made them have to bid the project. Now, they're still thinking they're going to win the bid. They'll know in January. But they, were upset that our state legislators didn't bring this to vote because they felt they had enough votes for it to pass. And they were just, and they, like I said, they still think they're gonna win the bid, but they were, disappointed in the outcome. So in January, I'll let you know, because that's when they'll know.
Go. Any other questions for Todd?
Do you foresee any problems with that rezoning and conditional use permit?
Owen and I met with Kyle Kearns and Matt last week, and they're fully aware of it and the project. And Kyle is really good at sending me an email with the steps needed to have it happen. One Energy is going to actually do the submittals, and on their project timeline, that won't happen until early 2026. I'm sure there'll be some opposition, because you always have somebody that doesn't want solar to happen, but I don't see it being a barrier. I think it'll get approved. Kyle seems actually pretty excited about the project.
So what has to be done this year to get the tax credit?
So that was discussed on the Monday meeting. We meet every other Monday, and they are still looking for the actual documents from Washington to spell that out. And they think by next month they'll have those. So the worst case is by the end of the year, they have to drive pilings down on one of the sites. And they feel that the Shawano site there's no rezoning needed. So if that's the site, they have to just, set 5 pylons down, then they meet the qualifications. So they're not too concerned about it.
Okay.
Yep.
Good, thank you.
No other questions for Todd?
So with the Rice Lake joining, how many are in blue now?
13.
13.
Yep. And they're still looking at other utilities possibly joining in the near future as well.
Okay, and we can move to the review of accounts payable. On this storm and sewer reimbursement, do we get any advantage of float?
It's probably the other way around, where they get the advantage because we're collecting the receivable for them. So if it's sitting out there for 4 months, we're have that payable on our book, but they pay us to bill that amount every year. So that's kind of cancels it out somewhat. So.
The leak detection survey, were there results from that?
I don't think there have been yet.
I haven't seen any yet.
Okay. Matt,
Go ahead.
Matt, the Cyberscape renewal,
Yes,
so that's,
it's a network monitor device that we use.
okay. Oh, that's not a service, that's a hardware?
It's combined. It's a hardware piece and then a service where all the logs go to them and then they review it and they send me anything that I need to check into.
This new pole trailer that we had a discussion about, the balance and so on, and this meets the requirements and looks good.
I don't remember the discussion, but we have our new pole trailer.
It's a little bit bigger, safer.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot
Yeah.
better
Yeah,
trailer than that.
yeah, it's a lot nicer. That other one's probably 45 years old.
So it's looking good.
Yeah, yeah. It looks really good. Yeah.
This annual substation maintenance support, that's for your oil testing and so on.
Yep.
On page 305, the Department of Administration spam filtering, $35,000.
What?
I bet you that's a second, I'm sorry, they got 2 payments on that check. So the first one would have been the focus on energy, or the commitment to community money that they get. So that's the majority of that. I think we'll only pay them
That
a
was-
very small portion.
Yeah, it's like $100.
It's like $100 a month, so. Yeah, so 2 invoices got included on that invoice, so apologize for
So it
that.
wasn't just.
No, it was, the majority of that's the focus
I
on.
can filter for less than that.
And I think we could hire somebody to poke through
Yeah.
everybody.
Any other questions on the accounts payable? I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You're adjourned.